Well, I'm back on carbs today. I've got another 990 here. It's going to need all the gaskets replaced, the internals replaced, the throttle shaft and spring need to be replaced. This was on my twin, and it was modified for 2 carburetors, so there's a link in here. So we're going to rebuild this back to what it needs to be. So this is the next one on the table. So yeah, new throttle shaft, new return spring, all the gaskets, clean her up and get another one done. So and then we'll keep going. We got 3 or 4 more I'm going to try and do today. So we'll start with this one. You got a clip. You got a clip on there to remove. Take that bolt out, or that screw out. Get to remove need to get this clip out, remove that screw, and that shaft should come right out of there. So then we can replace that along with the return spring. So it has nothing. The return spring was removed on this because it wasn't necessary to really have it. So here we go. A little more cleaning. Nothing wrong with giant. Well, I'd like to see it. Now I like to clean all these pieces up real good. No need in leaving them dingy if you're rebuilding it. So. Obviously, to get the throttle shaft out, you have to get that little butterfly piece out. So, now that shaft's ready to come out of there. You notice this doesn't have the idler on it to set the idle screw, so that's just something I'll have to deal with. actually, I think I might have another one of these bottom pieces that have that screw for the idler. So why don't I look for that real quick? There we go. We can fix it. There we go. Now that's the way it should look. Now being this was on a twin, you can see that part was shaved off because you don't need that idler screw on that inside for the running the twins. So like I said, we're going to put this back to the way it was. So screens look good in here, clean. Well, we will go ahead and pull it out. That screen's still good and clean, so we can reuse that. Good deal. I just kind of want to check everything a little bit. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the bottom end of this carburetor first. This gasket looks good, so we will use it. But we will replace. We will replace this one. Yeah, I wished I had some gloves and make this a little cleaner looking and more professional, but I'm not a professional. I'm just a hobbyist. So that screen can be a little bit of a bear. So we'll make sure it goes in there straight. this, all these internals are getting replaced. You know, it might not be bad, but I mean, you're going this far, you might as well get them all. So new metering purge assembly to go with all this. No, I'm not talking much because I'm concentrating on putting this thing together. The spring can be kind of a pain in the butt. But you do what you gotta do. I know there's some pretty good guys out there that build some pretty awesome carburetors. I don't know what all they're doing, but I've never been disappointed with what I've done. I could probably learn a few things from a couple of them, that's for sure. Especially as much as I mess with the large scale. Don't get me wrong, I like the 10 scale and everything else too, but I don't know, a buddy of mine, I blame him for this, getting me into the 5th scale stuff, and I like to tinker, so I like to build. People don't realize how much can be involved in this. I mean, it's literally a job in itself, and you're doing it for fun. But that's what we do. That's why it's a hobby. But, you know, people do make money at doing this. I just ain't one of them, I guess. I just enjoy it. And if it helps somebody else out in their projects, ain't that what it's all about? Keeping it interesting, keeping people interested. Well, that's what I believe. So, this throttle shaft I probably could have put in there first, but what we didn't do is put our spring on it. I had one out. Yeah, you don't want to forget that throttle return spring, because yeah, that's all you want to do is have a runaway, because you didn't put a spring on there where it was needed to be. You would not be happy with that outcome on a runaway on these large scale. I don't know why these, it's about like it needs that extra turn in it. We'll get her. As you see, it doesn't want to catch quite right. It needs one extra twist to it. Need that tension on it. Okay. That's what I don't like. Because the way they want these springs to go, and I don't do that, I always stick it in that second hole. And it seems like it keeps the tension better. It's just getting it fitted into there and risking the chance of breaking that spring. But it will go. You just need to kind of finesse it some. Like so. And I stuck it in that first hole, but it should be fine. Right there's why. You see, it already puts that tension on there. You get her all the way in. Get that little edge. Don't get frustrated. It's going to fight you. Alright. Now, put our pin back in it. Or our clip. Alright, now we'll polish this up some and we'll reinstall it. Now, it's not only polishing this piece, but you're taking some of that varnishy crap off of it too from the fuel. It'll happen, so why not give yourself a good smooth surface for it to hit on the inside of that and seal it. And I took a lot of that varnishy crap off of it. Now, the fun part. putting her line back up in there. There we go. Secured. Springs operational. Whole new bottom piece for the Marlboro 990. All the internals are replaced. Now the gasket's in the top. Your diaphragm. Your new purge. A lot of the times when you have a carburetor go bad, it's usually the diaphragm or this purge. You know, this thing goes bad and causes a lot of problems. So does that diaphragm. And you could probably a lot of the time replace that diaphragm and solve a lot of your problems, but I'd recommend just replacing all of them in the top end. But that's me. Everybody has their own preference. So put the new purge on. I've got good primer bulbs that have been used, but they're still good. Discolored some, but they will be fine. Okay. You ain't gonna need a lot of Loctite, but I'd definitely put a little bit on them. Oops. Now be careful to not get crazy on tightening these. I've snapped these little screws off before and then you're just SOL. Low side needle. And I'll go till it stops. I won't over tighten it. I just want it to go till it just lightly stops, and then I can back it out to whatever the factory is. So, which is what, 1 1/8 on the low side and like 1 1/2 on the high side. That's usually about what I go. Then you can tune it from there. Same with your idle. I always go all the way in. Then you can adjust it out, bring it down. There you have it. Rebuilt 990. We washed it in 26 minutes, so It's not that bad, people. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. That's another one down. Enjoy your hobbies, friends. We will catch you later.